Well, good afternoon and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox. You're on the panel. Is a legend that is Bridgeman afternoon, Bridge.
Can I say a big good afternoon to Yorkshire? And a huge good afternoon to the boys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world. Good afternoon and welcome to Rangers Radio.
Yes, it was thanks for that, cheery. I'm going to change the tone just slightly. Obviously, Rangers have had the passing of the late, great Tom Forsyth. Rangers Radio will be playing tribute to Tom tomorrow night. This is a post and a pre-match show, but we'll be talking about Tom Forsyth tomorrow evening. One of the Rangers' all-time greats, in my opinion.
Yes, I know you're he's a big favourite of yours, that's for sure. A big favourite of many, many Rangers fans. I liked him as well. No doubt in him. I liked every Rangers player, to be very honest with you. I think he was great.
Yeah, he was a great player, mate. So we move on to today's game. Life keeps turning, mate, and I believe you got the team.
The team is, wait a wee minute now, I'll get it all wrong again. McLaughlin, Tavernier, Goldson, Helander and Barisic. Jack, Kamara and Arfield. Hadji, Kent and Morelos. Substitutes Firth, Edmondson, Bassey, Davis, Patterson, Etienne, Barker, Stewart and Roof.
Okay, so the big talking point will be Aribo no playing, whereas Helander's come in for Big Balogun. I think most people predicted that, Bridge.
Yeah. And I think Aribo's obviously been swapped over with Arfield. So we've got two.
Got that knocky goal on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
It must have been more severe than we were led to believe. But if you watched the game on Wednesday night, after about 10 minutes, he was limping.
Yeah. And then he get trampled on again, very near the end of the game. And he was still, you could see it was really, really bad. So
he went off with half an hour to go, mate.
Sorry, well, just before he went off, I do apologise. You could see...
If you're going to come over here, do your homework.
It looked as if he got trampled on the same foot. So that's made it worse.
Right, so hopefully it's nothing minor. Hope nothing major, and the big man will be back playing with us next week. And because he has become one of the sort of cult figures, is that fair, mate? He's an entertainer, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a fan's favourite. There's absolutely no doubt about it. And this year, for the maybe half a dozen games that he's played, including for his pre-season friendlies and that, he's been excellent. Scored a couple of goals, set up a couple. He's been involved all the way along the line, and I think he's been superb. And people just love the way he moves, and the way he plays. There was one game where he seemed to be stuck outside in the right wing, and it didn't suit him. But a lot of folk are very supportive of him and like him a lot.
Yes, mate. Yes, he's grown into a Rangers jersey. So we'll see where it takes us when without him in the team, because it'll be a big miss. His physical presence is something in both boxes that I don't think we realise.
Yeah, 100%. And particularly on the attacking side of it, it gets if he's coming through the middle. He picks the ball up and he's got some really quick feet. He's very, very fast. And then generally manages to bamboozle a couple of players and then either pass a nice ball through to Barisic or one of the other boys. And before you know it, there's a chance at goal. Or he has a dig himself, And I like both sides of that. I like
the street football, mate. He's going to do things that are just going to bamboozle you, mate. And he's going to do things that you think, how did that happen? Because it's just the street football. We know the dribblers, the Tanner Bobblers, Bridgeman, and he's got a bit of that in him.
You can see that, yeah. You can see that, and of course, I remember fondly the street football, and you had to be very good and very agile, and I was all of these things playing football when I was a youngster. But as I got older, I absolutely loved playing in defence. I just loved it, and my skills at the going forward seemed to. I've just dropped them to all intents and purposes.
I'm not one for telling stories, as you know, but I believe you invented jumpers for goalposts.
Jumpers for goalposts,
aye. All the jumpers.
Aye, you might be right there, by the way.
All right, so we'll get people in with their predictions in this pre-match show. What's the number, Bridge?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Our joins at Skype at rangersradio.online. We brought into the call by Fox, the executive producer, who's wearing 2 hats today, Bridge. Well, seeing it's a Sunday. He's on double time.
He'll need to give him 2 titles. Give himself 2 titles.
Well, I could think of a few names I'd call him. But obviously that's the big talking points. Hollander in for Big Balogun. Most people predicted it, but we didn't know about the Joe Haribo. And also they'll be talking about the Livingston side, who are short of Lyndon Dykes Bridge.
Yeah, it looks like he's away. I'm going by the stories, and I haven't read anything really other than follow. And of course, the boys on here will be talking about it too, So what I'm hearing is that Warburton's put a bid in and the bid's been accepted. So until such times he gets his, I dare say, his medical all over me, and all the sort of I's dotted and T's crossed. Got that wrong there, didn't I? They'll have to wait, and they can't play him. Just couldn't play him.
Okay, we'll be joined by JFK in the pre-match show.
Afternoon.
Evening, whatever you want to call it.
It's a late afternoon. Good afternoon, Oxshire. Good afternoon, Brisbane. How are you today?
What a horrible time to start a football match, yeah?
I know. Still, we're all here to see it, mate. All here to see it. I just saw the team there. Quite surprised about Aribo.
No, really, JFK. If you'd have watched the game back, he was limping for the vast majority of the game, mate. Yeah.
So, obviously it's an injury. He's not even on the bench, but we've got a good enough pool there to deal with everything that's thrown at us, mate, I'm glad Big Hollander's in and you see the big Horgy. I think it's a type of game that Hollander could maybe excel in, so I'm happy with that, Oxshire. I'm pleased. And the rest takes care of itself, as I say. Obviously, Alan McGregor had let us all know that he had an injection last week for some pain he was suffering after going for a scan, etc. as well. So, it's a good team, pal. It's a good team.
I'm really keen to see how they got on, to be honest, JFK. I want to see how they do. And I hopeful, because our discussions last week, and we went high and low with them, So I'm just hoping that we do the business, really do the business, and show them that we can play football, and we've got the players that can carry us forward, and players that can step in to shoulder some of the weight, Brilliant.
I listened to the 40 Ounce Friday show. I listened to it yesterday. I couldn't listen live. A few things I was doing. So I listened to the whole show yesterday. I quite enjoyed it. But a Big Stevie come on. I'm not saying he gave his a row, but I agree with him. I thought some of the guys on the panel and the ones that were phoning them were kind of semi-negative and being kind of wary. I have to be careful what I say there.
You better watch what you're saying. You don't know the reputation you've got.
But Big Stevie came on and rightly so, and I agree with him. I think we're all here this mob today. Plastic pitch, I know.
I went for an R3-0, mate.
Well, I'm going to go for a 5 again, mate. I'm hoping it comes good one of these weeks. I'm like Bridge, man. The one will come soon.
Yeah, well, I've said this a million times. I'll say it again. 1-0 will do me. 3 points, no injuries, clean sheet. Happy as Larry. However, I would love them to go out there and trounce them. Mollygate them 5-6-0 would do me fine.
Yeah. Can I just ask? I mean, as I say, I'd listen to all your comments for Friday night and I'm not. Maybe the negative wasn't the right word. I shouldn't have used that word. I just think maybe you were a bit overcautious. But when I looked at the table this morning, Rangers are 9 points ahead of Livingston. I'll be trying to say here that, in a lot of ways, that the park is a leveller and it's more for them than it is for us.
I think what people have got in their mind is the defeat we had, which is nearly 2 years ago there, when we went there and we lost 1-0 and we didn't perform and we were second best out of the park.
Yeah.
I think that's in people's mind. But we've went there 3 times since then and won all the 3 games.
Yeah,
it's just that I think Livingston play well against us. They know who we are, and they don't need the boosting. They don't need lifting up. The managers didn't say too much. They know who they're playing. They're playing Rangers. And that game, when they beat us, Mr. Dykes had quite a good game, and he gave our centre halves a bit of a torrid time. His pace beat them, and the ball was running for him. So he had a bit of luck. and it hadn't been a great place for us to go. But we're a different team now, and unfortunately for him, he's no playing.
Well, that's what I was going to say, Bridgeman. That was then, and this is now. And what I've saw Livingston, I'm now going to change my mind for my candidate for relegation. I'm going to say Livingston. For me, it was going to be Hamilton Accies, but I'm going to go with Livingston. I tell you, I watched them last week, and they're the worst team I've seen in a long time. And I just think that, like Big Stevie said the other night, and your famous words, Bridgeman, mollification.
Hopefully the back of six will all be thinking the same, but I think that here with the right attitude, we should see these teams off. Bridge, the Park, we'll get 3 of them in the league, which, listen, I'm not a fan of them. What disappointed me with Livingston, they'd done theirs the summer they get promotion, so they've done it for a reason. Why would they need to try and cut their costs when they get promoted to the top league? It looks to me as if they know it's a level and it's an advantage. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't win on it, but it brings teams closer together.
Yes, of course, and we all know there's certain things in life that are great levelers, and particularly in football, the weather, and I know there's about 5 or 6 different types of weather, as you know. So the weather and different kinds of it are great levelers, but the pitch is most assuredly a great leveler. Some folk can play in mud, some folk can't, that kind of thing. And really and truly, once you get down to that level, Rangers struggle. They've struggled in their very recent past playing on these plastic pitches. I use the word plastic loosely because I don't think they are plastic anymore. But they're not very good pitches. In fact, they're an abomination in some people's eyes. So I think we should get a movement up to say get rid of these pitches. To be in the Scottish Premiership, you should be playing on a certain level of pitch, and we should all be striving for that. But anyway, I think, yes, agree with you, it is a great leveller, and Rangers have fallen foul in them. Both there, Kilmarnock and Hamilton, we've fallen foul in them, and our players need to really know what they're going to do on these pitches, and they've got to get it absolutely 100% correct.
Because we'll have to go here twice, JFK, by the fixtures, yeah?
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if they get in the top 6 or whatever, we've got to go here twice, so... This is another one. Get it out of the way and move on.
Yeah, 100%. The same as that when we played the Sheep. That was a good first game for us. A lot. We were kind of wondering the so-called random computer and put us up in Pittodrie against the Sheep for the first game, and we've overcame that hurdle, which we're all fantastically happy about. But what I'm looking at again, and I know, it might come back and bite me, but I'm looking where Livingston are, and I'm looking at where we are, and I'm looking at why we are playing. Some of the football, nice football we're playing on the deck, and that's good on a surface like that as well. It's when the players are having to run more with the ball, twisting with the ball, trying to jump. Sometimes I've watched players trying to jump. They don't seem to be able to get a firm footing, and obviously they've always got to be very wary of the tackle. Although the stuff that comes up through the black wee ball things and all that sort of thing. I'm not overconfident. I know I've said 5-0 Ox here, but I'm still thinking we're top of the league. We've got good momentum going here, and they've only got 1 point. Yes, there's a bit of a leveler, but I think the football that we know we can play and are very capable of playing, we can beat them quite handsomely.
I don't think there's any fear apart from ourselves.
Correct. Get out of the heat. Never mind. Just go and play the football. You're right, 100% correct, mate.
And I don't know if we've weakened our defence with Hollander coming in. Would that be fair, Bridge?
No, I don't think
so. Hollander was excellent in Germany, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he's been a smashing addition to our squad. And believe it or not, as you can see, he's a good player. Every time he touches the ball, he's very good. His main weakness is running back towards goal. He doesn't seem to have the pace that other people have, particularly forwards. But forwards are noted for their pace anyway at times. But other than that, he's a very, very good player. Nice header of a ball. My only thoughts about him from a weakness perspective is he's not quite high enough. He's 6'4" and he's 2 inches short for me. And I mean that in the nicest possible way, of course.
Yeah.
Size isn't everything, is it, Jeff?
No, well, there's a lot of range out there that'll tell you that.
But he's left-footed, and people will admit that in some respects, it gives us more balance when Hollander comes in, JFK.
I'd agree with you there, mate. Definitely. As I said at the start, I'm pleased that Hollander's in instead of Edmondson, although I really rate Edmondson, so I'm happy what he can bring to the game. We've seen him in flashes of what he can do, and this is his chance today. In there, on merit, Balogun's a cracking centre back, and I think we've got a great find there, and let's hope they extend his contract after this season. So that gives us 4 good centre backs, mate. And Hollander, for me, it'll do. Be a big Jorge there as he's back up today. So I'm pleased he's playing. If Edmondson had been playing, I'd have been happy with that as well. But I'd have pushed towards Hollander. I think he's reading the game as well. I agree with Bridgeman. I just wish he was that wee bit taller, but he's no. So, but we just go on with it.
I would swap his. I would accept him being 2 inches smaller if he was a half a yard quicker.
Aye.
Very good.
Going that way, you'd be probably right, mate. Aye. Swings and roundabouts, as they say. Aye, definitely.
Don't care what size they are, as long as they can play.
No.
Look, the boys got to be able to play. Anyone who comes to Rangers, and that's a given from a very kick-off, they've got to be able to play football, and the manager and the coaches have got to have seen them and made sure that that in their mind they can play football. So we've got 2 boys have come in, Roof and Itchen, and once we see they 2 at their full whack, running and after 5 or 6 weeks at the club and getting games, I think it'll be a wonderful sight to see. I think Rangers will be a really, really tough outfit to beat for sure.
All right, Rich, give us the team, mate.
The team is McLaughlin, Tavernier, Goldson, Helander and Barisic, Jack, Kamara, Arfield and Hadji, Kent and Morelos. Substitutes: Firth, Edmondson, Bassey, Davis, Patterson, Etienne, Barker, Stewart and Roof.
So the new signings on the bench again. I like what's happening with MGFK. I like the fact that we've got a winning team and they're not getting thrown in. They're getting used to the environment, getting fitter, particularly Roof. I like it.
Yeah, the manager's not just throwing them in for the sake of it. They cost upwards of £7-8 million. So he's not getting carried away and saying because they're worth that X amount of money, then we should throw them in. No, look, they've got to earn their right in the team, and if this team's winning every week, 2 and 3 nothing, 1 nothing, whatever, then and when Ruth and Etienne will need to bide their time. If Fred stays, which we all hope he does, then they've got maybe a bit of fight in their hands to get into the team. So a lot of games coming thick and fast. This is the first midweek we'll evolve for a few weeks going forward, because I was looking at the fixture list, so it was quite nice to see the players will get a wee rest for the midweek games and the Saturday Sunday games. So let's see how they perform today, and then obviously next Sunday when we are out again. And I'm looking forward to see what Roof and Etienne can.
Sunday again next week. We've looked up for ahead, are we?
Yeah, we are, mate.
Kilmarnock at Ibrox, isn't it?
Kilmarnock, Ibrox, aye.
Right. I didn't even know that was a Sunday game, to be honest with you.
No, it's a Saturday. I've just looked at it.
Saturday the 22nd, 3 o'clock kick-off. Right?
Yep, that is, mate.
Please do your homework before you come on here, please.
Sorry, mate.
Love it.
All these people have been out there and booked stuff now for the Sunday.
Do you guys think that Barker is a permanent member of the squad? We'll call up our playing squad there. Obviously, we've got 2 or 3 players
substitutes.
Missing. Aye.
I think there'll still be people moved, mate.
Aye.
There'll be room for people to move, and I don't know Barker. I'm not a fan, as you
know. No, me neither.
So we've got 9 subs. So Firth, if you go back to 5, Firth would have to be 1. Bassey, Edmondson cover a lot of bases for you. Davis, of course, and then it would be Stewart or Roof, or you would take Edmondson out and Stewart and Roof. Yeah. So Barker, Etienne and Roof, and then Barker and Stewart. Like, they're not going to get a lot of time.
I think if even if Alfredo left, I don't think Stewart will be there. for
Right,
whatever
we'll just leave that. We'll part that
reason.
case later
But
on
just,
the week.
it's still a great pool of players, mate.
Aye.
Even with Stewart in it.
There is going to be people go. I've always liked Greg Stewart when I've seen
Yep.
him, mate. I think he's been pretty
no.
unlucky in his career.
Yep.
The Rangers, but I think some of these boys will need to move on and maybe help us get somebody else and maybe quality in.
I only saw a wee bit there as I was coming up to log in. Did I just hear Bridgman saying that there was a transfer agreed for the big guy Dykes? Aye.
Well, that's what I'm hearing. I obviously, the other guys can tell us a bit more. I've only read it and follow, so sometimes they've got their head in themselves.
It's on the beat. It's even on the beat.
I've not been on this morning, mate. So
Warburton's
apparently he's not playing then. I mean, he's not playing.
Not playing. Apparently not. He's Warburton's bid £2 million allegedly.
Right.
So, and whatever it is, the guy's got to get through his medicals.
Warburton's doing his Agent Orange. You'll bid the $2 million a day, and in the morning he'll say, "Nah, I've changed my mind."
I don't doubt for a minute that the boy will do well for him. By the way, I don't doubt it for a minute.
Maybe.
Fun, different style of football. I mean, he's took Jason Holt there and Lee Wallace. Here's the number, Bridge, if people want to join us.
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Or join us at Skype at rangersradio.online. We've brought in the call by the executive producer, who's wearing two hats today.
Two hats. Two hats. Foxy have the two hats. Brilliant, Oxy. Brilliant, pal.
Right, so we talked about Highlander. I think we're all quite happy. We talked about different players in the team. Aribo could be a miss. But Arfield, we've got experience coming in there, so it's up to him to pick up the cudgel on it.
Well, obviously it is, but I mean, I'm very, very, very disappointed in Arfield so far. What I've seen this season. No, but if he's in, he's in. But I mean, I'd rather he wasn't in. I'm not convinced about Arfield at all at the moment, mate. And I was really, really disappointed before the shutdown with the COVID. I wasn't.
I'm glad that positivity didn't last for too long.
No, we're going to be honest. I mean, I just think Arfield. I'll be quite honest, and a lot of people will disagree with me as they always do on here. But if I had a chance to get shot at Arfield, I got rid of him more. I mean, I don't rate him at all. I just think. He's shown at the start, but for me, he's fell right out it. He's not for me.
I was just going to say, I have to side with the JFK for some slightly different reasons. I think this season has been stop-start, and he's never had the chance to get a wee extended run, even as a substitute. He's only coming on for 15 minutes, let's say, you know. So he needs it at least a half an hour to show what he can do, and express himself, or indeed a full game, you know. So I don't see the manager giving him that, and that's what I was saying about how I can agree with JFK on that. However, you don't know, because injuries are like that, and injuries will do it, and all we need is another one or two wee knocks here and there, and Arfield will be a first team pick again, for sure. That's what I feel.
I'm not seen a lot of him this year, if I've been really honest. I think he's a guy who can bring his strength and experience at the right time. Does he excite me the way Aribo does? No, he doesn't. I would agree with JFK with that point. But the one that I think it's under a wee bit of pressure on the team, and he is very young, and I don't know if he would have been playing if everybody had been fit, is Hadji playing the day in this pitch. It'll be interesting, because you could argue because the Bosch on the deck and actually he's about, he might flourish, but we'll wait and see. And as I keep saying, for me, the jury's still out.
I think it's his day to shine. I think this is a really, really good day for Hadji to shine. I would assume, I'm making a big assumption, that the type of pitch that he's going to play in today will suit him fine, because he's a lightweight, and I dare say they do a bit of training on these pitches anyway somewhere. But I really do think it'd be a really, really good chance for him to pick himself up. However, may I say, I'll put tongue in cheek just a wee minute. I said the same about that boy Templeton when he left us and went to Hamilton. You know, I thought he was going to go back. I think he'd back to Hamilton, tell the truth. I tell you what, I thought he would have been a star on that pitch, but no, he didn't do it. I think he's back there again.
Exactly, didn't want to play for it, but they signed for a team that played on it.
Yeah.
JFK, Hadji, on the deck, turning, twisting. Should suit him.
Good. And I agree with Brisbane. He owes us a game, mate. I mean, what he done for us last season, and especially in the Braga game, absolutely fantastic. But he needs to perform more consistently. This is a league now. This is a big picture. Europe's there when it comes. I think this could be a game for him, but he needs to show us more. I know what Brisbane's saying, he's lightweight, he can move quick now, but I just tend to think he gets thrown off the ball quite easy. And that for me is a concern at times. He needs to be a bit more stronger in his tackle when he's receiving the ball. So, well, let's see. Maybe you see like Hadji coming off and maybe Barker coming on if he's looking for a bit of speed with twisting and turning and that, because Barker can be a bit nippy, but time will tell on that. I'm just hoping Alfredo stays on the 90 minutes a day, mate. I'm looking for a lot off of Alfredo today.
Oh, I'd like to give him I like him to go off as the fifth one goes in, he scores his hat-trick with 15 minutes to go.
Well, in that aspect, I would take that, aye.
I would accept that, JFK.
Oh, well, in a hat-trick, I'd accept that, definitely.
You know, and he can wave to the crowd. I think you're going to find that in games where, I know that it browned you off a wee bit there on Wednesday evening, I don't think you were alone. When we could have maybe went on and scored, say, a couple more goals if we'd have kept up the tempo. Even the manager said the same thing, but I think you're going to see that in games where teams are well doing or well up, mate. Aye. They're going to use and rest players, you know.
Yeah, I've not got a problem with the substitute. Maybe I'd have thought maybe 3-1 and 1 or whatever, but it was just the fact that they brought the 4 on at that one time. It did pee me off, mate. I just thought, you're meant to look like a friendly, and I wanted more goals like a lot of people, but aye, if you say if Alfredo scores 3 or 4, I'll bring him off and we'll all stand up on our couches and applaud him, shout as loud.
I was going to say the fans will cheer him, but I forgot.
He'll get a standing ovation.
Yes, certainly will.
He will. Aye, okay, so Bridges went for 1, hopefully 2. He likes adventurous football. I went for 3, and JFK's went for 4. You think it's any different?
No, I'm going to stick with it. I'm going for 5 today, mate.
Sorry, 5. Sorry, I said 4. Give us a quick phone on 0141 356 1972, or join us at Skype at rangersradio.online. We were brought in the call, as I said, by the executive producer who's beavering away in the background. Funny how Morelos, the pantomime that was Morelos 3 weeks ago in the media, died of death, Bridge, huh?
Yeah, that's quite strange. I don't quite understand, A, what it was about in the first place now, yeah? And B, what really was it about? Was it about something?
Would it have been trying to unsettle one of your best players before the season starts? What do you think?
Absolutely, 100%. Absolutely, 100%. Well, you notice that there's nobody trying to unsettle a team from across the city. There's nobody trying to unsettle them. They're doing all that themselves, aren't they?
Yeah, well, Alfredo's there, and it's been. I mean, I've seen some things that like the usual Chinese whispers and that. Nobody was in for him. It was all, but Lil came in for him and said that they were willing to pay 16, but Rangers want more than that because he's worth more than that. So I'm happy. I think the same as everybody else. Don't get me wrong. If we got offered 20 million, I think obviously the club will take it, but they're stuck to their guns, and hopefully Alfredo respects that and gives his all, and he'll get his big move whenever that may be. But at this moment in time, he's got to come and play for us, and that's all we want him to do.
100% agree with you. My only fear through all of this transfer or non-transfer of Alfredo Morelos is the monies that Rangers are asking for. I really do hope within my heart, and maybe there was some of the boys in the lobby will be able to tell us, I hope that Rangers haven't to put that into the budget, because there could be nothing worse if you don't get the money, you're expecting, and you're budgeted for it, and it doesn't happen. My God.
You just dig yourself out of that show.
Well, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. It can be a killer. It can absolutely kill you.
I agree with Ox. I can't see that being budgeted for. you know, the European money is just getting paid out this week, as far as I know, Tuesday or Wednesday. All the clubs who have been knocked out of the tournaments that they were in, they'll be paid their money. And obviously what's happening with cash store and all that and different other things, I think there's plenty of money there to get it sorted, Brisbane. So I think that whatever we receive for Alfredo's a bonus.
All right, we've been joined by Dominic. Afternoon, Dominic.
Good afternoon, lads. How are you all?
Dominic, not bad, pal.
How you doing, mate? All safe in your world, mate?
Aye, mate, I'm in Dusseldorf at the minute, just sitting in a park, so aye, all good.
Right, as long as you're not travelling through France coming back, you'll be all right.
No. They're a Belgium, forget that. So what do you think of Arfield getting put in?
Well, obviously, Aribo's injured, mate, and I noticed he was injured on Wednesday evening. He was limping for quite a long time, so you've got a choice. What you could have done is you could have maybe brought Alfred back to play in a more positive role and play Ditton, or you make the easier choice, I suppose, of putting Arfield in as a straight swap. Bridgman.
Yep.
Yeah, you could do exactly that. Exactly. Yeah. I'm intrigued. You're in Dusseldorf, did you say, Dominic?
Aye, yeah.
Is that just along the road for Swanson Street?
Just a line for Leverkusen.
Working on the site morning till night.
I know. That's exactly it. Auf Wiedersehen, bet. Well done, pal. Well done. Is it nice and sunny?
Aye, it's roasting.
Yeah, cool.
31 degrees. A wee bit of cloudy at the minute, but
wow.
I'm going to head back to tell for the game because it's going to start thunderstorms apparently.
Okay, bud. Okay. That's brilliant to speak to you. Sorry, what were we talking about there? We were talking about Alfredo Morelos.
Aribo.
Well, it's sad that Aribo can't play.
Oh, sad. He's got a knock.
I know that, pal. That's what I mean. He's got a knock. He's been doing very well. His form was there, so it looks as if we could have done something. But unfortunately, he's not there. So I'm glad that the boy's in. Arfield's a good stall for him.
Arfield's always a threat, isn't he, for goals as well? You couldn't put it by him scoring today, you know what I mean? You couldn't say he wouldn't score. You could put the ball in the net quite easily.
Yeah. What would you have done, Dominic?
I think at the roof are two. They've not got much game time, so I think it's right. Arfield's got a bit of experience. Big plus at Dykes away as well, no playing. So they're there for the taking, without a doubt.
All right, we'll also be joined by Andy Phillips.
How you doing, boys? Oh, everybody okay, aye?
All right, mate. So far, so good, mate.
Yeah, good. I think it would come out from the right with the right attitude right at the start. I think we'll take them out. I think there'll be a few goals there. I think, we've done all right in the first 3 games. I think it might be the day that we might just click, and we get the 3 or 4 that we're all hoping we're going to get. I think we'll be okay. I mean, I'm not bothered about Arfield playing.
Give us your bets.
Well, the one I'm going for, my head's telling me it's going to be 3-1, but I've got a nice little 5-2 at 100 to 1. That's just my crazy bet. Well, if it comes in like there's 200 quid to spend on Wednesday when I get down to Ibrox later. So I'll just hope that it comes in, I'll be all right.
Oh, by the way, I'll warn you now, mate, if you're going there, you better give yourself a couple of hours. It's been 2 hours. Most people, even today, still 2 hours, mate.
Well, I told the lad, like, I said, you better get up at 9 o'clock because we've got to be away at 9:30. He says, what for? I says, he's got a bit of queuing to do, like, so he's well aware of what's going to be happening there. He's getting the option anyway because he'll like to take me down there. So he's getting no danger on that. Like, I've got a load of money in my pocket that I've got to spend here, like, so I need to go back with a boatload of Rangers gear, like.
Ox, did you say there's still queues today?
2 hours, mate.
Oh, for God's sake, what are we like? Fabulous, just fabulous.
I was going to take the birthday boy here to Ibrox this morning and I saw what it was like. I said, I'm not going to reach on for 2 hours there, pal. As much as I love the Rangers, we'll go during the week when it's hopefully...
They've missed the trick, mate. They've missed the trick, mate. They should have been lying that queue and saying, right, we'll give you our numbers. Come this way, 15 quid for the tour. Bring it back.
You're right,
I think Castor have just bought Alfredo Morelos off, isn't it? Castor.
I think so. Not one of the 2 boys for that company can't get the smiles off their faces when they see them done like that.
Aye. Well, they've done all right. A lot of disappointed people, but 3%. But you know what? It was a massive order, and it was a big ask.
And they've dealt with it as well, haven't they? They've dealt with it. They've got rid of the people who made a mess of it, and they've moved on. You're
getting your money back, £25 tap it, so you can't complain. No, I mean, you can complain, but move on. Buy your stuff online.
I would say hats off to them. Everybody that's been involved in this setting up Castor, getting the deal done, and then setting them up at the shop, clearing the shop out, and so on and so forth. Fabulous, well done. And my God, are they getting cut punters through the door? Based on what Oxtair's saying, that must be about 7 days in a row they've been queued out. Wow, incredible.
It was 10 days ago.
10 days. Oh my God.
10 days ago. Nothing's changed.
You think we've hit the £10 million mark in sales?
Oh,
if we did 100,000 shirts at £60 a pop, so that's your 6 million. So we must have done another 4 at least.
Of course, that's the third strip that came out, wasn't it? The third strip came out.
The third strip. They're bringing new stuff out all the time.
Oh, I tell you what, they can keep that going on a weekly basis for me. I'll tell you.
Marlon, see what you're saying there, pal. I watched a wee video thing, and I mean, you're right what you say. The guys coming out with a tap, right? But if we're talking about 100,000, but see some of the videos I saw guys walking out with 5 and 6 taps. So I mean, 2 Rangers taps and polo shirts and all that. I've got a pal who spent £580 alone.
People can't help themselves. They can't help themselves. They get into that shop and they're desperate to get Rangers stuff.
Oh my goodness. Brilliant.
Brilliant to get the brand out there as well, and we've not seen it everywhere for a long time. No. And this is it.
Yes, fair play to whoever struck the deal. It's just been a good fit. And no pun intended, JFK.
Well, maybe they'll do a special opening for guys like us, Oxtail.
Aye.
Because if you do a QR's up there right around the grid.
It's just that we're short for our weight. We're short for our weight, mate. If we were 7'2", we'd be all right.
Hey, JFK, did you say did you manage to get out for a meal with a boy for his birthday?
We're doing that tonight, mate, after the game.
All right, okay. Where are you going to? Anywhere nice?
We're just going to pick somewhere that we can get in, mate, and we'll see what happens. Play beer. We're not actually booked anywhere, so.
Salino's Caffe's still there.
I know what's happening here. I know what's happening. Everywhere's booked. GFK can say, look, we'll go tomorrow for your birthday Monday. Get the deal half price. I can read you a little book, Algin.
Ibrox half price. Ibrox half price was a goer, mate, but I couldn't get a booking for it. It was booked. I never thought of it. I just wondered, the British man put that into my head. I wonder if Salino's doing half price.
Salino's, what one in Melton Street or the
no, the new one, mate, the new one.
Oh, the Italian, aye.
Thanks to Boris.
Thanks to Boris, right.
If you do enough things, you'll eventually get one right.
That's quite good. The website, you stick your postcode in it, and it just gives you all the restaurants. Superb.
Andy, so you're going to be going there on Monday, but how do you think it's going to go today? You going for one of your bets?
Aye, I've put the 5-2 on, haven't I? 100-1, like, you know.
How are you going to lose 2 goals, mate?
Well, it's just a crazy one. I'm just going with my head, like, you know. They come up every now and again. I once got one a few years back when we beat Hamilton 7-1. That was a cracker. I got that at about, I think it was about 60-1 or something. So, you know, every now and again they come in. Like, I'm just thinking, well, if it comes in, right, it's a couple of £100 to spend up there, isn't it? Like, you know, it's not matter. Like, I'll be right at the end of the line, and I'll end up with Jimmy's socks because there'll be nothing on the shelves.
The thing is, I've got a big belly, Andy, but I've got wee toty feet, mate.
well, I used to have one of them. Like, it's still a wee podgy, like, but you know, I mean, it's you know, I'll, as I said the other night, I'll fit into him. Don't worry, whatever's left, I'll fit into it.
He used to water his feet a lot, but the sun just never got to them.
Right. For about 10 years, I've been peeing sitting down, so that tells the same story.
Oh dear. Right, Dominic, how's it going to go?
I don't think they'll score 2, but I can see Arfield on the score sheet and Rangers scoring at least 3. And that's my predictions. 3+ and Arfield on the score sheet.
3-0, 3-1. Is that what you're thinking, or 3 or 4
Just
for us?
Just at least 3 for us.
All right, okay.
And above.
Right, mate. I hope you're right. Brian Kent, he's done all right against them in this place, so hopefully he keeps up his consistent run. JFK.
I hope he does, mate. Definitely. He put him in the sword a couple of times. So I'm looking for Ryan Kent to continue his form. Wouldn't be surprised if we got a goal or 2 today. I'll go for 2 for Kent and a hat-trick for Alfredo.
There you go.
Wow.
Who are you looking forward to seeing today, Andy?
Today, I'd like to see Barisic carrying on his form, like, and especially if we get any free kicks around about the box. I think he should win.
Looks as if he could be a penalty taker.
I saw him here, and Shug said that earlier on there. Like, he says, I think Barisic is going to, take it. I would think if we got one of them, though, just to my theory there, like, if we do get a penalty, I would like to think Tavernier would go up and take that and see if he could get a bit of confidence there in front of his goals. Because he bottled it in the League Cup final. He's never been right since, has he?
I think that's
I would like to think he could take it. Definitely. I don't think he's taking them anymore. But to get your confidence back at Oxford, that's what I'm thinking.
He had his chance, mate. He should have went that day at Hampden. He should have watched, strode up, picked up Bob, stoated onto the spot and blasted it in the net, mate.
Definitely. Yeah. I think they'll.
I also think on that particular point, I don't think Tavernier should be taking any free kicks. This is my opinion. Any free kicks with a shot at goal or penalties until we're at least 3-0 up. Because it would just take, if he misses anything like that, it would tear away whatever confidence he's got. It'll just start to nibble away at it, But if he gets it up at 3 o'clock, there's three goals, he's got nothing to worry about. We don't want to lose anything, Just get there and blast it and do the business.
Well, gentlemen, we've reached that time of the afternoon for this crazy kick-off time. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us for Dusseldorf, Tom Marnock. Always a pleasure, mate. When are you back? Oh, Tom Marnock. Oh, he's back on mute. Andy, great to hear from you, mate. You enjoy York for a week, up the road for a week?
Aye, up for a week, like, aye.
All right,
so
keep away from
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah? They know you
Well, I've been doing the beer just a little, like, so I'm kind of complimentary now. Like, that vodka gets me all over the place, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, we know, mate. We know.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it, pal.
I keep saying that, the morning after, like, but I look at the bottle again and I think, I can't wait. I've got to finish it. I can't leave it there, like, But, I'm looking forward to it. It's been a long time since we've been up. We've got a couple of things to do, like I said, with my dad and all that. So I'm quite interested to get up there, like,
Brilliant, mate. Can I thank Bridge and JFK? I thank Fox for doing the technicals and the executive producing. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back approximately 15 minutes after the final whistle, celebrating a Rangers victory. Take it away, Fox.
I sailed the wild Atlantic across the broad Pacific shore. I sailed around the stormy capes and I've heard the forties roar. I've climbed the Indian Ocean and I've sailed the China Sea. But there's a sea back home in Scotland, more than all the rest to me. It's the blue, blue, blue sea of Ireland. It's the greatest sight that I have ever seen. It's the blue, blue, blue sea of my love. And this matter will really get there free. No more I'll sail the seven seas, no more I'll ever roam. No more I'll feel the earth again. I'm back where I belong. At 3 o'clock each Saturday I'll join the mighty throng. With flags and banners all around, I'll proudly sing this song. It's the blue, blue, blue sea of Ireland. It's the greatest sight